Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason for the first time today.
You know, if I was Kevin Stefanski, I'd be excited about this defense that Jim Schwartz is coaching, because the fact that they were in the goal line in training camp and the offense only scored 4 touchdowns and they basically ran about 15 to 16 plays. I wanted to see the man coverage. I wanted to see how well these DBs are and the depth behind the starters and everything else like that. So I'm excited. I know Kevin's excited. I know Jim is excited. These are some dogs that we have in the secondary, and it's showing. The players are starting to get it. You know, I thought it was going to be a little bit more time, but they're getting it. And I think they're a lot more comfortable. They're not shaking as much. It just seems all fluid. It just seems all natural. It just seems instinctual. And that's what we want to see. That's what we want these Browns defenders to do.
G-Bush, I'm anxious to see him in pads, because that's when we're going to get to see what this scheme and what the D-line looks like.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about it today on the show, and it was like, you know, you're not going to be able to see. They've had Greg Newsome working under the slot pretty much more than anybody else. As Greg has said before, I think Greg changed his jersey number because Greg had to get a little bit tougher. Sometimes, you know, when I was growing up, man, my mom used to say, "This is what we gonna need to eat for that day," and I'm like, "I don't want that." She'd be like, "Well, listen, that food will sit there. You'll eat it before it eats you." And and I'm like, "Oh yeah." So after a while, you come back to that table, you look on the table, and be like, "Man, I am kind of hungry. I might as well go ahead and eat this before I go to sleep." Now, Greg Newsome, he was talking about he didn't want to play no corner. I want to play slot corner. And somebody must have got in his ear and be like, "Hey, I don't know what you need to do, my brother, but what you need to do is you need to wrap your mind around it. If it take you changing your number to 0 to figure out if you like it, please by all means do so." So he's trying to turn over a new leaf. I'll say this. I can't wait for the pass to come on. They're going to have a very interesting group up front, because they're going to rush the passer. They're going to run. Their job is to get into the backfield. And for once, this is a time when I could actually see an aggressive coordinator physically letting loose his dogs of war, letting those guys go out there and roam. And, you know, last year under Joe Woods, it just looked like they was tentative, soft, didn't know what was coming, and unprepared. This year, I plan on seeing guys move after the quarterback, doing what they need to do, and playing a little more aggressive on the outside and playing the routes, because the pressure is going to be there. They'll throw you a couple. Your job is to make sure you're in position to catch them.